Yeah.
If you see them today, they're not junkyards. They have become filled with overgrown bushes. Thanks. Any question?
No, I just like the
Yes,
government to
thank
do
you.
a little better pertaining to this oil thing too, where they should give an update every month on this oil.
Yes, they are. They are giving us. They are giving reports, but they are not giving the full report. And we have asked
Right.
them. A matter of fact, they told they made a correction after we would have carried that story, in which they say, well, the media have the right to ask them what they want to know.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio. This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio 99.1 FM.
Hello, welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. I am Kevin Smith, and these are the top stories we're tracking. Guyana paying Exxon to train oil regulator. Government examining new rules for spending oil money. All transfers and spending to be reflected in budget, says Dr. Singh. Brazil breaks daily death toll record with over 3,000 fatalities in one day. And the U.S. logistics company to set up East Bank Demerara waste treatment facility. And the Giftland will have to pay taxes once proper procedure is followed, the CJ clarifies. Stay tuned to stay informed.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Digicel Prime Bundles just got better with 3 new apps. Watch more with PlayGlow. Share more with Sportsmax. Read more news with Loop. Listen more with D-Music. Plus extra data. It's simply more bundled together. 51 gigabytes for 7 days for only $2,000. Live the experience with Digicel. Activate today on the My Digicel app.
And now for the news in detail. According to the environmental permit for the Payara project in the Stabroek block, ExxonMobil has up to September 23, 2021 to submit an updated environmental and socio-economic monitoring plan. That document, which has to be provided to the EPA, is required to include protocols, performance standards, and responsibility in consultation with and jointly implemented by ExxonMobil and the EPA. Importantly, whatever capacity needs, such as training, that is required by the EPA to implement the plan, ExxonMobil is bound by the permit to provide it. Furthermore, the permit notes that external expertise may be sourced by the EPA as may require to augment this monitoring plan and/or conduct associated audits. Once again, the permit holder will be responsible for all reasonable and jointly agreed upon costs associated with the monitoring plan and any associated independent audits. It is important to note that ExxonMobil would be able to recover the foregoing costs from the production operations in the Stabroek block. In other news, despite having an enacted natural resource fund with in excess of $267 million deposited in the New York Federal Reserve, the Guyana government does not intend to utilize any expenditure under the current protocols, but is instead currently examining new rules under which the fund would operate. This is according to Senior Minister within the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh. He disclosed that the administration is currently examining the matter and considering the options. According to Dr. Singh, the PPPC administration is looking to promulgate a strong and robust arrangement that would guide the transfers of the money from the NRF to the Treasury. And moving on, Brazil, one of the countries with the highest COVID-19 case and death tolls, has broken a new record as it relates to its daily death reports. BBC News reported yesterday that the country on Tuesday recorded 3,251 fatalities, being the first time it has ever surpassed the 3,000 benchmark in a daily report. According to BBC, as the virus continues its rapid spread, Brazil's healthcare system is at the brink of collapse. And moving on, as Guyana's oil industry expands, companies are rushing to grab a piece of the action by establishing a presence here to support ongoing activities. This time, the US-based logistics company Global Oil Environmental Service is seeking to set up on Guyana's shores with a project already filed with the EPA. On the EPA's latest public notice dated March 21, 2020, it outlined that the company proposed the construction and operation of a waste treatment facility for transfer, storage, treatment, and disposal of exploration and production oil and gas waste. That facility would be housed at Coverton on the east bank of Demerara. The EPA outlined on its notice that the project would not significantly impact the environment, therefore concluding that it does not require an environmental impact assessment. And moving on, Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire has clarified that once the proper procedures are followed, Giftland Mall will have to pay up the taxes it owes to the Georgetown City Council. This was revealed at the Mayor and City Council's statutory meeting on Monday. The ruling stems from court action filed by Giftland over claims that it owed the council in excess of $100 million worth of taxes. The company had released a statement saying they were exonerated of owing taxes. While the several sections of the media had reported that based on her decision, Giftland owes no taxes, the CJ clarified that her order stipulates that until proper procedures are followed, then the applicant is not liable to taxes. The time is now 12 hours 6 in Ghana, and you're listening to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. This is your news at noon. Coming up after the break, 10 days later, Exxon still reinstalling repaired gas compressor. Taxi driver jailed 21 years for raping of schoolgirl, and passenger helps gunman hijack taxi. Meanwhile, energy finance analyst says gas price faces increasing instability moving forward, as police reviewing records to see if stolen car was used to transport gunmen.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Guyana is now a full-fledged oil-producing nation. But how much do you know about this valuable yet finite resource? On our radio program, Guyanas Oil and You, we strike at the heart of every issue with informed views and credible data. The time is now for you to arm yourself with insightful knowledge on your oil wealth.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. Yesterday marked 10 days since ExxonMobil announced that the repaired flash gas compression system for the Liza Destiny oil vessel has commenced, and from its latest update, the reinstallation is yet to be completed. The compressor was damaged in January and resulted in the company having to temporarily increase gas flaring above pilot levels in order to maintain safe operations. The faulty compressor was then removed and sent to Germany for immediate repairs, later arriving on Guyana's shores on March 13th. In its operations update on March 15th, ExxonMobil had stated that the offshore team began preparations for reinstalling key components of the flash gas compression system on the Liza Destiny after they were safely transported offshore. Days later, on March 17th, the U.S. oil giant said in another update that the team was still reinstalling the flash gas compressor. It outlined that additional vibration and process monitoring specialists were being mobilized to join the team offshore. In other news, a 32-year-old taxi driver was yesterday sentenced to 21 years in prison for the rape of a 12-year-old schoolgirl. Sahadia Puran was on trial at the High Court in Georgetown before Justice Joanne Barlow and a mixed 12-member jury for the indictment, which stated that on September 27, 2019, he engaged in sexual penetration with a child who is under the age of 16. Puran had previously pleaded not guilty to the charge and was represented by attorney-at-law Euclid Gomes at his trial. Earlier this month, Puran was found unanimously guilty of the rape, and his sentence has, however, deferred until yesterday when Justice Barlow made several considerations before imposing the 21-year jail term. And now let's tell you, a passenger on Tuesday assisted an armed bandit to rob a taxi driver of his car and other belongings. The victim, 36-year-old Royston Green of Diamond, East Bank Demerara, told the cops that the robbery took place around 20 hours or 8 p.m. Green, who also works as a security guard, said that he was plying his trade as a taxi driver earlier that night in the Diamond area. He was reportedly hired by a man who wanted to be transported to Soos Dyke. Green recounted to police that the passenger further stated that they were heading there to pick up another person. When they arrived at the location in Susdai, Green recalled that a man armed with a handgun approached. The passenger then joined forces with the gunman, and together they robbed him of cash and his cell phone before driving away with the car. And now let's tell you, energy finance analyst Bruce Robertson is warning buyers of gas and liquefied natural gas to be aware of what is to come. On behalf of the Institute for Energy Economics and Financial Analysis, Robertson said that the inherent volatility of the gas commodity is expected to increase in 2021, and that gas customers all over the world can expect the substantially higher prices will be a distinct possibility. This prediction is not coming from a novice. According to the Institute, Robertson has been an investment analyst, fund manager, and professional investor for over 35 years. He said that such volatility in spot prices causes gas-fired power plants to be underutilized, as gas can sometimes be expensive and unaffordable to source. And moving on, detectives are currently reviewing records to see if a stolen car was used to transport the men who executed Ricardo Fagundes in front of Palm Court Sunday night. Fagundes, a popular gold dealer, was shot at least 15 times by two men who emerged from a heavily tinted white Toyota Fielder, a new model. Hours after he was gunned down, a burnt car similar to the one used by the gunman was found abandoned at Swan Village along the Soestdijk-Linden Highway. Police believe that it could be the same car, but so far they have been unable to verify this. It is understood that the chassis number of the burnt car appeared to have been scraped off. Another theory being explored by detectives is that the stolen car was used to transport Fagundes' killers. It is now 12 hours 12 in Guyana. Stay tuned. Coming up next is your COVID-19 update.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Guyana, please join me on the Glenlal Show, 99.1, 99.5, Kaieteur Radio, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast of the next day at 11 a.m. just in case you miss that program.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
And now for your COVID-19 update. The Ministry of Health yesterday reported the death of a 6 to 9-year-old man from Region 4 as the latest COVID-19 fatality. In its press release, the ministry stated that the man succumbed while receiving treatment. His death has been recorded as the 221st COVID-19 fatality. The Health Ministry also reported 88 new infections via its daily dashboard update yesterday, increasing the case toll to 9,820. The dashboard shows that 12 patients are in the COVID-19 ICU, another 19 in institutional quarantine, 56 in institutional isolation, and 900 in home isolation. Additionally, a total of 8,632 persons have recovered to date, with 13 new recoveries recorded yesterday. Meanwhile, according to Worldometer, the number of worldwide coronavirus cases has reached 125.6 million, with deaths at 2.7 million and recoveries at 101.4 million.
And that's the news of the moment. Remember, to get the full details of these stories, pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News. And don't forget, you can catch us on the MyTuner app as well as the Radio Garden app. You can also keep up to date by liking our Facebook page at Kaieteur Radio and subscribing to our YouTube channel, Kaieteur Radio Livestream. Oh, also catch our stream at www.kaieteurnewsonline.com/radio.
The time is now 12 hours 14 in Guyana. Coming up next, a short presentation on the oil and gas sector in Guyana from the publisher of the Kaieteur News, Dr. Glenlal.
Guyana, our leaders maintaining the slave mentality we come from.